seen a couple of times when the Leafs have stuck in the offensive zone trying to create
hockey night in Canada, baby. I got the TV at an appropriate volume. Let's have a nice friendly stream. If you're local to the Los Angeles area, I will be at the Comedy Store tonight, closing out the main room show. Big money, honey. Until then, I will stream for my peeps. Take care of the dog that's coughing. Work out. And then repeat tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. The LA Kings and the Pittsburgh Steelers play at the exact same time. I'm trying to pick a set time, William, but my life changes day to day, so I do find that the earlier the stream is, the better it does. So instead of going on at 8 or 9 p.m. my time, going on maybe even a little earlier than now is working out for me. I'm still trying to figure this all out. I mean, the last two short videos I did were my two favorite Trump jokes from the Al Smith dinner. The first one got like 2,100 views, which is a lot for me. And the second one, which I found just as funny, literally got 20. So I'm still trying to figure out what hits on YouTube and what doesn't. Now, tonight I'm in the main room, but I will be taping my next original room set for your guys' viewing pleasure. And there's already talk of a reappearance on the Jesse Lee Peterson podcast. Never say never. I'm not sure what a popular number should be for that. I mean, I saw Jamie Kennedy's episode that's been out about 5 or 6 months. He's got like 118,000 views. I'm at 18,000 views in 2 weeks. So are you being serious, William? I'm just so curious as to how the first one could do. For someone who has 2,500 and change subscribers, for me to get 2,100 views, that's a very good viewed short for me. Basically, 85% of the subscribers I have watched it. And then the second one, I released it at the very same time. Like 20 views, I think. Well, I did almost walk off because, but now I get it. Yes, go Kraken. Who are they playing tonight? I'm watching the Rangers Maple Leafs right now. Okay. I mean, there's no dirty words in it. It's just a really funny joke. And even if you don't like Trump, it's a funny joke. It's a great roast joke. Okay, I love that kid on the Flyers, Mitchikov. He's going to be good. Okay. Well, it just made me feel good that, for someone with a shade under 2,600 subscribers to have something viewed 2,100 times was, I mean, I know they say 1% of your subscribers watch what you put out, but, we'll see. I'll leave the one up with 20 views up. see what happens, I guess. I think in terms of my actual subscribers, the stand-up clips definitely are viewed the most. The Earlverse streams, to be honest with you, don't do that well. I just have fun doing them. So, man, that guy at number 73 on the Rangers, he's a big fucking guy. 6'8", 240. He's a big boy. So we'll see. I mean, I'm trying to put out more shorts. And I heard, videos that are like 1 to 2.5 minutes in length supposedly do pretty well. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, this whole YouTube thing is, still a mystery to me. But I have fun doing the streams. And like I said, I know I'm last in line, to quote a Dio phrase, in terms of, I'm sure someone's streaming right now. I don't really care who. But, you guys, the streams are a little gift for you. And I'm even kind of experimenting with how I promote the streams. Like usually I'll put out a tweet. I'll go on Facebook. Even the last few I put in my stories on Instagram. And then the last one I didn't promote at all. I just hit live and went. And it got about the same amount of numbers. So I will crack this fucking algorithm. Hit the like button. Maybe that'll help me crack the algorithm. If I could get to 6 likes, who knows? Rangers and the Maple Leafs. 3:46 left to go in the first period. It's 1-0 New York Rangers on a goal from Jason Laferriere. Ryan is in the house. We got AEW Collision. Yeah, baseball's on. I have no interest in baseball. I am a Angels fan that is just, it's like being in an abusive relationship. Poor Mike Trout. Just wasting away. And the Angels, and they tried to re-sign Ohtani, and he wants to win, man. And if I were the Angels, fuck it, I'd trade Trout. If you're gonna lose, why have a high payroll? You could probably sucker some. I mean, Trout's. Here we go, breakaway Nylander, save. I'd be a good hockey announcer. At least you're aware the Dodgers are a game away from the World. I'm really not. I couldn't tell you what the series is tied at or whatever. I mean, listen, the Dodgers aren't doing anything illegal. I mean, I don't like it when just like 1 or 2 teams can buy the best players. Jerry Barker, are you new to the stream? We have maybe well no, this is only for super chats, but what can we do when we get someone new to the stream? Nothing, Jerry. Sorry. Love it when you get with Danish and O'Neill. Well, that's not going to happen anymore. Y'all crack me up. I'm a truck driver, and I've listened to you on a bunch of podcasts. First heard you on the Crab Fest, and have listened ever. What kind of? I'm obsessed with long haul trucking. Jerry, if we're ever in the same city, I have a favor to ask of you. One of my bucket list things, without looking like a pedophile, is I've never been in a truck cab. So I'll go on YouTube and just look at Those, what is it? The one guy, Alex, the trucker guy. I love, like the beds and I'm fascinated that 18-wheel truck is basically a house on wheels. Well, I don't know if he's a shitty owner. I mean, he spent a lot of fucking money, and probably when he should have traded Ohtani, he kept him for the fans, and he probably kept him because he knew the attendance would be good. But he built, remember that one trade deadline? They should have been sellers, Ohtani and everyone else on that team, and they made trades for I think like Renfro and all these other guys to keep Ohtani happy. I don't necessarily have a problem with him. They're just yeah, but I've often thought of doing that, William, going, hey, and here's the lie. I've already cooked up the lie of saying, hey, we're remaking the movie Convoy, and we're looking at different types of trucks. I've been tasked with getting the Rubber Ducks main truck. I've never been in one. Can I, go in the cab? I mean, some of those, especially the truck, or no, I'm sorry, the car hauling trucks. They're bigger than the normal cabs. I mean, I could fucking live in one of those. Any interest in Terrifier 3? I got to be honest with you, no, because I never saw Terrifier 1. Hello, my Jake Hudson. Is that a horror movie? I'm assuming. I mean, I really, I've said it once. I'll say it 1,000 times. The scariest movie I've ever seen in a theater was My Bloody Valentine. Well, I mean, I'll sit in your truck as long as it's not a black cab, see? And you don't have, well, I'll go in and if you have white wall tires, okay? Yes, me and Rick Ingram should hit the road and do an hour of dueling Tommies. Wow. Tommy was the booker. Well, welcome aboard, Jerry Barker. What kind of trucking do you do? Nothing about me. I want to know about the 8 people in this stream. Let me fast forward. I'm a little behind in the. I'm really just watching this game in case Rempe and Ryan Reeves fight. They seem to have a handshake agreement to fight every time they play. I just love. I mean, I think Convoy. I saw Convoy at 10 years old, and I've been hooked on truck driving ever since. Never been in a cab. Every time I drive like go to Vegas to do comedy or whatever, you see so many of those. They're beautiful fucking trucks, man. And I've often thought of like going into a truck stop and just knocking on some guy's door, going, "Hey, can I go in your cabin and just look at it?" They'd probably think I'm a lot lizard. I am not. Every time the Capitals play, I look for Pierre-Luc Dubois' name on the score sheet. I don't see it. So business as usual. I don't know. It's something about Convoy where it was the perfect mix of drama and the racism angle with Franklin Ajay, the black trucker. And what a great cast, man. I mean, look at that cast of Convoy. Chris Christopherson, a prime Ally McGraw, Ernest Borgnine, his Sheriff Lyle Wallace, Madge Sinclair, fantastic black actors from the 70s. I'm trying to think. Who else? Seymour Castle. He was like the go-to Southern bad guy in so many of those movies. And I just loved that movie, man. If it was on right now, I'd be watching it. Just I don't know that some movies just it's kind of like 52 Pickup. I don't know why I like that movie so much, but I think it's because of the cast. Who's big? Wait, Convoy's on too. Well, I've seen Convoy so much. I don't go out of my way to watch it, but I just love that movie. And the fight scene in the diner, it's one of my favorite fight scenes. Along with that fight scene in Hooper with Jan Michael Vincent, Burt Reynolds, James Best. But I am starting to plow through the episodes of Tulsa King. It's not bad. First episode, season 2, didn't really grab me. But now with Frank Grillo being featured prominently, he's one of my favorite character actors of this generation. I'm back on board. He's a good actor. Stallone's a good actor. He doesn't get the credit, but it's because he had a couple bombs. Let's be honest. But man, the man gave us Rocky, Rambo, and Nighthawks. He gets a pass, and of course Marion Cobretti. And we can talk the election. It's 2.5 weeks away. It's on, baby dolls. Dueling rallies in the same city. When they're in the same city, it's on. Well, Ryan Reeves almost scored a goal. I mean, it's hell is frozen over when that happens. So, what kind of truck do you drive, Jerry? See, now that I know we have a long haul trucker in the building, just started Tulsa King. My girl and I love it. Okay, safe travels out there. Well, Rich, I'll do well, say goodbye to me in trucker talk. Breaker 19, Jerry Barker. There's a bear in the air in a plain brown wrapper. Mile marker 40. Come on. Sorry, dude. I had to do that. Richard Sars, $4.99 here while waiting on the MLC. Hey, man. Oh, thank you. I have a 4K camera on top of my iMac. And the weird thing is, I would say 1 out of every 25 Earlverse streams, the sound goes out, and I don't touch anything. From last night to tonight, to tonight, I didn't touch anything. And then just every now and then, we don't talk like that in here, DJ. You're on notice. So we don't try and get me to say people's first names by undercover. We don't. This is not Steel Toe or Cumius Cux. We don't. You want to talk about that stuff? It's $5 super chat. Sorry, I have to lay down the law. I'm just fucking with you. I will end it. Oh shit. Jess Peter Chicken Man Brennan. Thank you, Richard, for the super chat. I hate to lose you to MLC, but I appreciate the tip. I know times are tight. Peter Chicken Man Brennan, just to be clear, you're not Whitney's baby daddy. As far as I know, I'm not. I mean, I don't. I've never had sex with Whitney Cummings, to my knowledge. Now, I used to date a girl named Whitney Rice. I don't know if there was some crossover, but how the hell am I supposed to watch you and the Leafs suck at the same time? I mean, I'm watching the game right now. I don't know. Just so we're not, I'm at 15-13. So let me speed it up because this game's a little boring. to be frank. Okay, we're just getting through this so I can be caught up with my buddy Wayne. Man, there better be a fight in this game. So it's 2-0. Oh, well, I guess the second period is over now. The Leafs problem is hello. The Leafs problem. I'd like to think most of my exes, it's their loss. But sometimes it's my loss too. Sometimes it's both of our losses. And then sometimes it's just better off. I mean, listen, I love the tough guys, but a guy like Ryan Reeves is just not necessary in this era of the game. I'm not trying to be a dick. I love the tough guys. You know that. I have, especially you, Wayne. You know what I have upstairs in my second bedroom is a Jersey Emporium filled with tough guys. From Eric Bolton to Rudy Poshek to Michel Petit. Excuse me. This is not carbonated. By the way, I've been given Chris Nyland's phone number. Chris Nyland, legendary Les Habitants enforcer, will be on the Inappropriate Earl podcast. I can't wait for that. And I really can't wait to ask him a question. At the end of the podcast, I'm going to do like word association. I'm just going to mention a random player's name from Chris's playing career, and I hope he gives more than a one-word answer. But I'm going to be like Larry Playfair, and I just want to hear what maybe he'll tell a good Larry Playfair story. But I remember on Twitter, you guys know my favorite hockey player is Barry Beck. I asked Chris Nyland if he ever if he had any good Barry Beck stories, and he gave me like a really weird answer, like he didn't like him. And I've never heard Barry Beck not being liked, so I'm curious to. I mean, that interview might be just for me and Wayne. Good evening, Chris Mack. We're just doing a nice stream here. I mean, I know Richard Saras has made me aware that MLC is starting any moment now. I expect to lose a few of you. It's part of the business. I will be going on MLC, I believe, this week. And a lot of people are like, well, if you don't like the Dabbleverse, why would you go on basically the show that drives the Dabbleverse? Kevin Brennan makes me laugh. And I respect him as a stand-up comic immensely. So, that's why I'm going on. Hit the like button before you leave to watch MLC. Hit the like button on the way out. It's just for the numbers. Sorry, I got a booger in my eye. Always a fun night, Saturday night. We got hockey night in Canada. We got the Rangers, Leafs, Canucks, Flyers, Canadians, the Islanders. Yeah, I mean, which I don't know. Who knows? I may never even go on it. I know that, oh my God, Wayne Fraser, the man, has just gifted 5 memberships. So DJ, Chicken Man Brennan, Spurg Snake, and Kip Smith, the moderator. Please thank Wayne Fraser. I don't even know how gifted memberships work, to be honest with you. That's how little I know about streaming and whatnot. I don't know what it means. I mean, I know what it means when someone, obviously you guys have been gifted a membership courtesy Wayne Fraser. But thank you, Wayne. For those of you who don't know, he's not in the Dabbleverse. He's not a comic. He's one of the preeminent game-worn jersey dealers, collectors, however Wayne wants to be referenced. Well, speaking of Snapchat nudes, did someone ask me if I had any Chris D'Elia jokes? I don't. Sad thing is I used to be friends with him, and then to be honest with you, he helped me out a lot about my podcast setup. I said, hey man, I really like the way your podcast. This is right before the allegations came out, and what do you use? And he like took a home video for me and showed me a setup and whatnot. Then I had a friend of mine who was like a fucking super fan of his. I'm like, hey, dude, I'll pay for it, but can you just give my friend Allie a shout out? It's her birthday, and he's like, don't worry about it, dude. And then the allegations hit, and we spoke a little less just because I didn't know what to say to him, to be honest with you. I mean, what do you say to a guy who's been accused by multiple people? Hey, how you doing? So it's been a minute since we've talked, unfortunately. But if I'm going to go hard on others who've been had allegations thrown at them, I can't be like super friendly with him either. The last time we spoke, probably a couple years ago, and he swore to me that they were all lying and whatnot, and there's a setup, and I'm like, bro, they all can't be lying. And then I just, I don't know, haven't talked to him since. Carmen Delavina, yes. I mean, I'm not going to do this every day. I want you guys to miss me. I can't do how other people do it. I kind of like how Win by Two does it. John seems to do it like 2 times a week, but his setup is so much better than mine. I mean, right now my setup is as good as it's going to get. And ideally, when I move, or if I ever were to sell all my jerseys upstairs, Wayne, hook that up, baby doll. I would obviously move upstairs, and I'd add probably another neon sign that said "Daddy Man" or something. And so right now, guys, this is as good as it's gonna get. So thank you, guys. 20 strong in here. Fuck the haters. And the great thing about me is no one stream snipes me because I'm so boring, according to some in the Dabble Land. The Dabble Land. So yes, thank you, Wayne, for gifting the memberships. We are a small but mighty family in the Earl land, and I know that on a Saturday night I'm just a conduit till when MLC starts. And people ask me all the time, well, why don't you stream snipe? I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to do it. So I thought, you know what? I'll just watch hockey while I'm streaming. I'm stream sniping the NHL right now. I'm looking at buying about 150 jerseys at the expo next month, but nothing compared to what you have. Well, the problem for me, to be honest with you, is if I ever did sell the collection, and I've had a few auction houses, kind of lowball me, and I'm like, hey, you guys got to come to me. It's not like I can ship 500 fucking jerseys. I mean, I've been lucky in the 24 years. Well, I haven't really collected in the last 5, but I guess you could say I've been in the game worn collecting business for 25 years. I've lost one package to my buddy Mark Alberts, and I'm a man of my word. So, not only was I out 3 really nice tough guy jerseys, but I had to give him the money back. So, like, it's a double hit for me. We don't talk about Tongan midgets and George Michael in here. We don't do that here. Well, I don't know if I'm above the Dabbleverse. I'm just I just have nothing. I've said it a thousand times because a lot of people DM me and go, "Hey, well, not a lot, but a few people." Like, why didn't you get in on the Dabbleverse? You're such a good roaster. Like, you should roast Kevin, and then he'll roast you. I'm like, no, I have no reason to roast Kevin. He's always been nice to me. I have no reason to roast Chad or even. I mean, I think someone a couple months ago said Win by Two was kind of saying how boring I am or whatever. It's like, okay, I don't know John, so I wouldn't even know what to roast him on. So I just. I'm kind of out of the roasting game. I was burned so badly on that stupid show that it really soured my loins in terms of, now I have an attitude. If I don't get anything out of it, I ain't doing it. Earl, besides my bro KB, what Dabbleverse comic likely gets close or gets passed at the store? None of them, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm trying to think of Dabbleverse comics. Well, I mean, give me some names. Like, I don't know who. I mean, listen, I think Melton's funny to me, but he doesn't really do comedy anymore, stand up. So, I would say Melton if he did it, but the others, no. And listen, let's be honest with you. We don't do that in here, Dr. Chow. You're on notice. I've got to crack down on you guys trying to get me to say that guy's first name. This isn't My Lost Interest clip joint or Stalin 19 or Doom. We don't do that in here. This is a friendly stream. We've gone a half hour without bringing up his name. I'll say it for $5 super chat. I'm selling out. I'm being a whore. You guys want to fuck with me? I'll fuck with you guys, but it'll cost you. I think Bob has a chance. Oh, but, I mean, yeah, I'm sure I'm missing someone. I mean, but you got to understand, the Comedy Store is kind of, I could see Bob Levy closing out the main room, So I take that back. I mean, give me the top 5 comics in the Dabbleverse. And to be honest with you, I've done a roast with Shuley, the Ric Flair roast. He fucking destroyed. I've never seen his stand-up actually, but if there was some kind of a roast, and they're like, "Hey, you got," I don't know who. Hey, we're roasting John Cena, Earl. You get to pick the day. So I would pick Shuley without hesitation. So Shuley isn't funny on stage. Levy is mostly crowd work. Melton is an internet guy now. Carl, Rob, Saul. Yeah, but I don't consider Carl. I don't really know Rob Saul at all, so I don't know if he does stand up or not. And this isn't me roasting him. I know nothing about Rob Saul, what his main gig is. And Chad makes me laugh. I mean, when you look back at the Kevin Brennan roast, you only really remember Chad. Like, you don't remember how funny Tom Cassidy was or the two girls. Gino was funny on it. Well, I mean, DJ, I'm saying if there was a roast, I would absolutely work with Shuley again. I'm not. I mean, because I saw it firsthand in front of 2,000 people. He murdered the room. I've never seen Shuley stand up, but I would absolutely have Shuley on a roast. And I don't know enough about Bob's act. I know he's pretty dirty, but like tonight, I'm going on at 12:15. I'm following a bunch of famous comics. You do whatever you do to make that fucking crowd laugh, and not just laugh, but stay in the room. So, I mean, I was answering a question, DJ. I mean, I don't think Carlos Danger does stand up, so he's out. I'm trying to think. And it's being funny on a stream is a lot different than being funny live on stage. I think that's a problem a lot of podcasters have. As you take some people who've been passed at the store over the last 2 or 3 years. Some of them have really just been popular podcasters, and they bomb their ass off on stage at the store because, when you're on a stream, like when I'm on this stream right now, I can give and take with you guys and whatnot. But when I'm on stage at the Comedy Store tonight, I can't like read a stream and get an idea. I've got to have the idea already, and hopefully it's fucking funny. I think a KB, Levy, Shuley, Stut Joe, Chad comedy show could sell out a big comedy room. Probably on the East Coast, not on the West Coast, because obviously, um, I mean that show in the main room at the comedy store, that's 400 people. You got to fill that room. I mean, I could see it selling out the Stand, the Cellar. Uh, what's the place in Jersey? I'm not really familiar with it. Uncle Vinny's or something. I think it was. He's also a podcast host. Um, what's the Stress Factory? Um, you know, so I mean that's a good lineup. I mean, I've done one show with Stuttering John, and it was with a bunch of paid regular. I've told the story before, so I'll trim the fat for those of you just joining. But it was the Robert Schimmel tribute show at the store, and it was me, Tripoli, Hinchcliffe, Adam Hunter, super funny dude, Carmen Morales, very, very funny girl. I mean, she should be passed at the store, but I think she does more road and doesn't really care about being passed at the store. Or maybe she does, I don't know. And then Stuttering John. And, I mean, I would say if you objectively were in the room for that show, you would say John was the weakest comic of the bunch. But, it's a very strong lineup. I have an autographed Anthony Weiner Dong shot. And that's Carlos Danger. And really? That's pretty funny. So yeah, I mean, getting back to Jersey talk, but we can slip in. Oh wait, Peter Chickman Brennan, what was your Stut Joe intro? No, my friend Gabriel Killian was the host of the show, so he brought us up. I didn't really talk to John that much. I mean, he stopped me in the hallway. I have a joke that someone from my past gave me. It's really funny. It's like, hey, we all remember Michael Jackson, right? And I know Michael Jackson jokes are hack, but I love this joke. Well, it's one thing to be a pedophile, but a mag too. I think you can know what word I'm saying in the joke in reality. And then John, as I'm walking out of the store, he grabs me by the arm and goes, "Hey, that's a really funny Michael Jackson joke. Be funnier if you said maggot." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, man." I don't think it's gonna be funnier, but thank you. Well, we don't talk about Joey C and here, Dr. Chow, Medicine Man. We don't do that in here. We don't. This is not eBay for Dabbleverse related items. Um, I don't know who would be the greatest Cleveland comedian. Dolph Ziggler? I mean, he went to Kent State. Does that count? I don't know, Chicken Man. I don't look at the lineups ever. I have no idea who I'm following. It's usually one of George Perez, which I love following George because he kills. Um, so it's great to walk right into his fucking wave of laughter. Sometimes it's Ryan O'Neal. Sometimes it's Jessica Michelle Singleton. Sometimes it's the Shank, Sarah Wineshank. I don't care who I follow, to be honest with you. I really don't. So, but it's always fun. I've got like 20 people coming to see me tonight. So I wouldn't say I'm a draw, but, I think of comics of my fame level, whatever that is, I absolutely bring in the most people. I think you're following Dante tonight. Dante has not gotten a spot in 20 plus years at the Comedy Store. And I know he calls every week. Trust me on that one. I've been back on the sugar since Skankfest. Donuts and soda and ice cream. I got to cut it out. Well, really, bro, as someone who is was a certified trainer by the American Council on Exercise, you can eat whatever you want, man. It's garbage in, garbage out. it's burning what you eat. So if you eat 2 Snickers bars a day, that's about 500 calories. You have to burn 1,000 calories to maintain your body weight, maybe even lose a few, uh, calories. Um, and if you want to lose weight, you eat 2 Snickers bars a day. You have to burn 1,500 calories. It's not who's banging that Sarah Wineshank chick, Shab. I don't know who Sarah is banging. To be honest with you, and I frankly I don't care. I don't know. I don't want to know who Shab's banging. Shab's not really doing stand up anymore, so I don't know where he hangs out now. To be honest with you, I mean, I always had pleasant experiences with the guy. Just a fist bump here, a fist bump there. Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to know who's banging who. Um, no. Who's banging the Eleanor Kerrigan chick? Chad. I know Eleanor. She would not fuck Chad. I can just tell you that much. He's taking care of his love child with Whitney Cummings. I don't know. I mean, some people think he actually is the father, but I don't know. I remember when Whitney Cummings asked me to donate some items to the Malibu fires a couple years ago, and it's kind of a long day, but it felt very worthy cause. And she had to go. I think she had a gig, so she asked me to bring her fiance home, and so I gave her fiance a ride to their home at the time. And the guy was so fucking nice, but I kept saying to myself, "This guy's in over his head, man." I mean, Whitney's a lot. Whitney's kind of like PK Subban, where he just, how they say PK Subban was a great hockey player, but why is he getting traded so much? It's because he takes up a lot of oxygen in the room, like, and there's comics like that too. I mean, I won't say who they are on a fucking stream, but like there's comics I dread seeing at the store because they're never off. They can't talk about, hey Earl, what you do today? It's like, hey man, Earl, you look like you just killed a yellow leopard. um uh, well, I mean, but strength training, obviously muscle weighs more than fat, so you won't necessarily lose weight if you lift weights. I've actually gained weight probably the last 4 months, but I'm lifting super heavy. Like when I go in tonight, and I don't plan out like do 5 sets of this, 5 sets of that. I do 110-pound dumbbell bench presses, and I just do as many sets as it takes me to do 10. Now, usually the first set I'll crank out 3, if I'm lucky 4, and then the next set not as many, 2 to 3. So usually I do 3 sets, 10 total reps of 10, and my workouts actually are a lot shorter now. I'm in and out, almost Mike Mincer style. Um, Back in the day, Eleanor was fucking everybody. According to David Banks. Who's David Banks? I'm sure PK's mom is nice. I mean, PK is nice, to be honest with you. I've met him a few times. He's very gregarious. But I could see if you were playing on the Nashville Predators or the Canadians, or Jersey was, I think, his last stop. He does take up a lot of oxygen. Now, one night hanging out with him at a comedy charity just for laughs, that's doable. But to spend 9 months out of the year on a hockey team, in a locker room, hotels, planes, I could see where he's not the most liked guy. Bigger fall from grace. Olivia, hello. Callan, D'Elia, or Caparulo? Definitely D'Elia. I mean, D'Elia was king of the fucking mountain. I don't know if Brian Callen, I mean, he's certainly a big act, and in movies, but always as like a side guy. I mean, D'Elia was the lead. Um, I mean, Caparulo outside his John Madden impression never really popped. So, um, I mean, definitely D'Elia. I mean, D'Elia was. What movie was he going to be in? The Zack Snyder movie, some army movie, and they just he was the lead, and they just booted him. Oh, yeah. See, I knew David Tyree. David Tyree, my first year into comedy, I think I gave him like $3,000 and to write me jokes. I just at the time I didn't know what I was doing, so I'll just pay. I saw him open up for Eddie Griffin one night. This guy's pretty fucking dirty. Um, and then I looked at the jokes he gave me the other day. Now this is 25 years ago. He wrote these jokes for me. They're all stolen jokes. Like I was totally clueless at the time, but he literally, I paid $3,000 for stolen jokes. Like, what was one of the jokes? I'm not saying I spend money on stupid things, but I just bought a liquor cabinet. I don't even drink. Boing. Excuse me. Yeah. That Zach. Sorry, this is not carbonated. My bad. Whatever happened to John Capp? He's in Vegas now. I think he just does like Wise Guys and a couple of their fucking, other comedy clubs. I mean, he was on enough TV shows where if he saved his money, living in Vegas is probably good for him. I mean, I think he plays Wise Guys like every night, or he used to. I mean, he had some heat for a minute. I mean, he had enough heat at one point where he was getting double spots at the store. Like, he would get a half-hour spot in the middle of the lineup. So a lot of people didn't like him for that. I got something you could DM. And then I'm trying to think of some of his other jokes. I'll have to read them one night. By the way, I think I'm trying to get the script to Predator, and maybe one night we'll go back in time with the Earlverse, and I'll do a live table read with just me reading all the characters from Predator. No, it's same name, but a different dude. This stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus, just like me. Yeah, strap this on your sore ass, Blaine. David Tyree was a really funny black comic. I mean, he was in that Mooney, Franklin Ajayi kind of old school black comic. Unfortunately for all those guys at that time, something, Billy. I'm scared, Pancho. There's something out there, and it ain't no man. We're all gonna die. That's the recently deceased Sonny Landham, aka Billy Bear in 48 Hours, and Chink Weber in the great and unheralded Stallone prison movie Lockup. Also starring Donald Sutherland, recently deceased John Amos, and Tom Sizemore. That is one of the very good Stallone films that never gets talked about. Oh, shit. See what's going on in the Leafs game here. I'm having so much fun in here. I forgot I was watching the Maple Leafs game. All right. It's a 2-0, a 2-1. All right. We got 2-1 ball game here. 10 minutes left in the third period. 2-1 Hockey Night in Canada. I like that movie. He breaks Arnold out, right? Wait, no. That's what was that movie? Escape Plan or something. Hey Earl, have you ever used the actor bond under Los Angeles, or know anyone who has used it? I don't know what that is. I think Escape Plan. I think Ray Liotta was in the first one, if I'm not mistaken. But Stallone did a movie in '89 called Lockup with Sonny Landham, Frank McRae, the big black guy from Used Cars, Big Wednesday, Tom Sizemore, Donald Sutherland, John Amos. That's all I recognize. And Darlene Flugel. I got to go back and find those Comedy Time spots. Fuck Comedy Time. You know how they say Tom Cruise won't talk about losing it? That's how I feel about Comedy Time. I think they're on YouTube, though. Don't look at them thinking, no, you're helping me, because you're not. I don't get $1 from those videos. And I think about the 10 videos I did, they got like over 10 million views. Now, the one with the Asian girl with big tits, that got like 4 million views. I literally 10 million views. I got paid, I think, $500 total, which sounds like a lot of money. But, for something that had 10 million views, it's a fucking joke. But those two guys, the Goldman brothers who ran that network, total fucking scammers. And I have hockey jerseys. Well, I don't get paid. Is what they call in the business a buyout. Dave Binovich. What up? It's 9:17 left to go in the third period. The New York Rangers up 2-1. The Maple Leafs actually outshooting the Rangers 26-24. The Achterbahn is the LA Underground network of car tunnels. I've never seen that before. I don't know if I believe that, dingbat. But this isn't the Alex Jones radio hour. I've lived in LA for 56 years. I've never seen an underground tunnel. And I've been to some wacky parties. I've been to, skull and bones type facilities. There's no underground car tunnels. And yes, and smash the like button, please. 30 people in here and only 17 likes. All in this stream right now. You guys can all go to MLC and watch that. And please do, in 10 minutes, go to MLC. I don't know if Kevin has people on tonight or it's just a solo show. It's all good. And for you local yokels, I'll be at the Comedy Store tonight, closing out the main room, 12:15 on the button, Slick. And then tomorrow is reserved for football and hockey. You got the Kings and the Ducks. I got to send you my XTV partner just did a special from found footage of Sam Mushnick's retirement from wrestling at the Chase. I mean, no, I'm driving too fast to be looking. This Slick's no joke. What are you reciting a movie from Heat? From the nightclub scene? It's about 6'4", jailhouse tats. I'm telling you, this Slick is no joke. Say what? Say what? Well, whatever gets you through the evening, Wayne Fraser. The Leafs coming back a little bit. I can't believe Shesterkin turned down that contract that would have made him the highest paid goalie in NHL history. I mean, what more do you fucking want? Earl has a person. Not really. I don't know the guy. I just think he's a piece of shit. Hello, Earl. Just wanted your opinion on the movie Malibu's Most Wanted. I loved it. Well, here's the thing. I have a loose association. I love Jamie Kennedy. I did a short film with Sam Tripoli, Brody Stevens, Owen Benjamin, Ramsey Moore, Brett Ernst, Eddie Pepitone, and it literally was the same plot as Malibu's Most Wanted. Now, I don't know if someone from Jamie Kennedy's camp took the idea and made it into a movie, but I always felt bad for Tripoli. But I love Jamie Kennedy. I'm a big Jamie Kennedy fan. He was nice enough to do the Inappropriate Earl podcast when I did it out of my condo. The Bitter Buddha. I don't know who the Bitter Buddha is. I was Sensei Byrne. That's Hollywood in a nutshell. Steve Byrne was supposed to play the sensei. He couldn't do it. So instead of calling me Sensei Skakel, they just call me Sensei Byrne. What the fuck? No, Eddie Pepitone. The great Eddie Pepitone. Stugats. Maple Leafs going on a power play here. I hope I see Eddie tonight. He's usually at the Comedy Store on a Saturday night. Full slate of games tonight in the NHL. Who won the Alabama-Tennessee game? I had to turn that off to start this stream. Looked like Alabama was going to take it. But that's okay. It's all good, Spurg. I'm sure John Pepitone's funny, too. And then I'll keep you guys posted. I'm not sure where I'm going to be on Gutfeld, but the wheels that were turned this week were beneficial. For a fight? Tennessee won? Oh, shit, really? Jesus. I think when I turned it off, it was 17-14 Alabama. And I believe Alabama had the ball, but... I watched a lot of Alabama football the last couple of years. We don't have to get into that. Did you say yes? Gutfeld, who, whatever the guy's name is. It's a big panel show on Fox that Rob Schneider said he would help me get on. And the great thing about Rob is when he says he'll do something, unlike most people I know in this business, he actually does it. So much love for the great Deuce Bigelow. The Kings have not played Utah yet. I think tomorrow they play Anaheim, and then I think Tuesday, Vegas, and then their home game Thursday. Their first home game 2 weeks into the season. They start with a 7-game and really a 9-game road trip if you count the 2 preseason games. Their first home game will be this Thursday. I will not be there. I will be at Bowling for Soup. Thank you, Felix. I don't think anything makes you a star these days. But, listen, Fox News is the most popular cable channel. I don't know if I'd say it's as good as getting on Rogan. But, I'm sure I would wake up. I have 12,000 followers on Twitter and Instagram, each. And, I could see getting another 1,000 followers the next day, if it goes well, which it should. I don't watch him, but he's not Bill Maher. I think he's funnier than Bill Maher because he gets it. You can tell when he bombs, he knows he's bombing. And to me, though, he's actually funnier when he's bombing. You got to get out to Joker's Lounge in Dubuque. They couldn't afford me, to be honest with you, Dr. Chow. I'm not going to Dubuque, Iowa for anything less than $5,000. And that's in addition to the travel, But they probably make good money with local comics, and I'm definitely not driving to Dubuque, Iowa. Those days of me doing shit like that, bro, are over. Tonight, if the Comedy Store sold out tonight, just to show you why I really only like playing the Comedy Store. And I'm not trying to impress anyone. I don't care if you guys are impressed or not. How they work at the Comedy Store is you split the door with the comics in the main room. Now, it used to be about $200 to $300 when, they had one show. So it was one show, about 15 comics. And now they split it into 2 shows. You have the early show, you have the late show. And Comedy Store main room, it seats about 400 people. Now, conservatively, let's say 100 people got in for free. Guest list, whatnot. So you got 300 people paying, $40 to $20, $40, anywhere between those prices. And there's only like 6 comics on the lineup. I make $800 and up tonight. and I'm literally driving a quarter of a mile from my house. So I'm definitely not going to Dubuque, Iowa to make $500. That's why I don't do the road unless it pays super well. And to be frank, I'm not really a name, so I'm not going to get paid super well. Uh, get in early, Earl. New comedy venue planned as Warner Brothers has announced its 8 months. I mean, that probably seems like it would pay well. He Well, I mean, that says it all, Dr. Chow. That says it all. We don't use first names in here, Chris Mack. Go live, Chow. Let's get some boots on the ground. Yeah, we're not stream sniping someone's set from Dubuque, Iowa. Sorry, that's when it's time to wrap it up. Yeah, we don't talk about people's paychecks in here. But listen, uh, you know, I'll say Ray's name in this regard. If he's happy doing that gig, fuck it. Some people love doing the road. Uh, you know, they love the drive. They love the fucking camaraderie with the local comics. Uh, you know, that's great. But I'm 25 years into comedy. I don't care about meeting a local comic from Dubuque, Iowa. No offense, and they don't care about meeting me. But I just but some people love it. I know a guy, the first guy I did the road with. I think I've told the story before, but it was Winnemucca, Nevada on a Friday night, then Elko, Nevada on a Saturday night. His name was Roger Peltz. And he was like one of those 70s celebrities you'd see on like Match Game or Hollywood Squares. I forget. He was on TV. He was like a character actor. Very funny comic. But even at my very young age, I remember like kind of asking him, like, bro, what are you doing? The Winnemucca and Elko run is like a first year comics, which I was run. It's a horrible, like the Friday night gig is literally in the lobby of a hotel bar. And I did my set, and I wasn't that funny then, but I survived, and then he killed for like an hour plus, and he killed the next night. Now, the next night, we're at Winners Casino, and this was such a shitty gig that, and there's no stage. The microphone is here, then there's a dance floor with no seats on it, and then the seats, because they didn't want to mark up the dance floor, and then the comedy club patrons are on the other side of the dance floor. So you've got like 200 feet between you and the first row of people. So it was a horrible gig, and he killed that night. I'm like, even back then, I was like, bro, why are you playing these gigs? He's like, dude, I love the road. I love going to Waffle House after and, fucking these MILFs. He was just a single dude. He was probably in his 60s at that time. So not too far off from how old I am now. I can't imagine doing that gig. Rest in peace, Roger Peltz. He was one of the better dudes I worked with. It wasn't a Tribble run. I walked out of the only Tribble run I did. But Roger loved Tribble like runs. He just, there was also, I think, Tribble's competitor Pat Wilson, and then you had like scam artists like Barry Neal and all that shit. I remember I did a Barry Neal gig, and Barry Neal was basically a failed comic who started, booking shows so he could get spots. And me and Josh Wolf did some shitty sports bar gig for him in Simi Valley. And Barry Neal's like, no cussing. And I did pretty well given my experience level at the time. And then Barry Neal gets up there and he's saying fuck and pussy and this and that, bombing. I mean, I was a better comic 2 years in than Barry Neal. So no, I would not. Son of Billy Wagner. I wouldn't let anyone stay at my house. It's Roger. Come on, Roger Peltz. Uh, well, I mean, it's expensive to, um, make movies. That's why I think Tulsa King went to Atlanta. It's supposed to be in Tulsa, obviously, but Atlanta's probably the top American city for filmmaking. The tax breaks and whatnot. I mean, they certainly don't. I mean, you have to make TV shows in Los Angeles. It's just there's no way around that. But that's why not most, but a lot of films are made in Atlanta or Canada. Oh yeah, I mean California sucks, man. I mean it's the taxes. I mean it's you're taxed on your taxes. I mean, West Hollywood's worse. I mean, West Hollywood, where I live, it's a 1.9 square mile city. It's overdeveloped. Every other block there's a condo being built that no one can afford. So you've got these beautiful vacant condos. If you make a movie, would you get one of the stars from English to star in it? I don't know what that is, Dr. Chow. You must be on the good edibles tonight. Uh, I mean, just to make a film in Los Angeles, it's out of control. The taxes and it's just not profitable. Unless you're making like Avatar or there's a lot of anime. I mean, animated stuff you could probably because it's a different style of filming. But to make it like an action movie in Los Angeles, those days are over. I mean, I'm sure Stallone, who lives in Los Angeles, would have probably loved to have done Tulsa King in Los Angeles, but fuck that. I mean, when I was filming I'm Dying Up Here for Showtime, now that's a TV show. Fuck, that must have been an expensive thing to shoot. I mean, they turned a soundstage into a fully functional comedy club. I mean, you could have started a comedy club. They had a big room, which you could have totally done. I thought the premiere should have been a comedy show in the main comedy room in I'm Dying Up Here, and the smaller room, which was what I guess would be considered the original room. You could have done a comedy show in there. Um, so the Heat downtown LA shoot. I mean, like Heat's a great movie to talk about in terms of cost. If you did Heat in LA, I don't want to say double the cost, but it would probably be 30% more financially to film it in LA now. No, stand up on cruise ships was for hacky, just like low level bottom feeder comics. There are some good cruise ship comics, but if you've done, and the money's good, the money's very good. Uh, well, um, I wouldn't hold my breath about a documentary on the Cleveland comedy scene. Have you held a baby during one of your sets? No, I don't hold many babies because I'm afraid to drop them. With Michael Douglas, Predator 2, all the LA shots back then. I mean, look at like my favorite movie, 52 Pickup. That's all LA. San Pedro, Long Beach, the port. You couldn't film 52 Pickup in LA. It'd be too much money. We got Matt Rempe out. Let's see if he does anything stupid. All right, so the New York Rangers beat the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-1 in Toronto. Earl, have you heard these rumors that Kamala is allegedly going on Rogan? I have trouble believing it, to be honest. Seems like her PR team would want control. I doubt Rogan would allow it. I mean, listen, when she went on Fox, it's a close election. Even though it was with Brett Baer, who's probably the most democratically favorite, or he's not a Democrat himself, but um, he is friendliest to the Democrats. I would have been a little more impressed if it was with Hannity or Jesse Waters or even Gutfeld. Um, I mean, Die Hard would be incredibly expensive to film in LA because I lived in that area at the time. Century City. I mean, just to get the permits to shoot at night and all those high-rise condos, and I mean, around the Nakatomi Plaza building, it's all super high-end condos, and you'd have to get permission from all those homeowners associations, which I can only imagine the celebrities that live in those are like, fuck that. Nice Dreams, the Cheech and Chong movie. Have you ever hit a semi and lied about it? No, I have not. Yeah, I mean that did not look good for Undertaker. I mean, I don't know. I'm willing to bet those two movies were shot in downtown LA. If nothing was being shot in LA, why would actors move to LA? I mean, I couldn't tell you that. I mean, I know as a voiceover actor, this is where everything's done. Um, and most TV shows are filmed out here. I mean, I think as an actor, you don't have a choice. Like, most actors sadly will never book anything. So, but this is where most of the auditions are. Uh, if you're, most casting offices are based in LA. They might have an office in New York, but like my voiceover agency, they have an office in New York, but the main office is in LA. So, who knows? Willie Ames says we can't shoot around here. Well, I don't think anyone's asking Willie Ames for permission. Would you ever perform at a corporate event for Planet Fitness? We don't talk about Planet Fitness in here. We're not stream sniping sets from Dubuque, Iowa. This is a friendly stream. I've already gone 12 minutes more than what I should. I don't have a goal to hit, Dr. Chow, you're a real provocateur. So that's about it, kids. I think MLC has been started. I love Planet Fitness. I used to go to the one in Decatur, Alabama, and they had like pizza there and fucking gumballs, and I'm like, this is crazy. It's kind of a genius move. Like you get people fat so they go to your gym. And then they would never take my money. I'd be like, okay, I'm just visiting from LA. And they'd be like, okay, cool. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not a member. And they're like, okay, cool. I'm like, oh, yeah, but do you want to buy like a guest pass? No, it's cool. Like, I don't know how they fucking make money. When the earthquake hit the Getty Museum 5 weeks ago, it took out 11 basement floors. Odd it was not in the news. The building still stands. But yeah, I did not hear about that. Gina Babina. We were about to end the stream. So everyone go to MLC. Tell them Earl sent you, man. I send other people to, no one sends people to my streams, and I need the help the most. We'll go to one. We got 1 minute left. The 1 minute countdown. Let me move the arrow over the end stream. Let me thank my tipper for the evening. The great Richard Soros, $5. Thank you very much. I believe Richard now is in the MLC land. Yeah, smash the like button on your way out. I mean, you've got 30 seconds. 6 people hit the like button. We can get to 30 likes. And, I don't ask you guys for much. I really don't. And I probably have the toughest job in these streams. I don't snipe anyone. We don't watch anyone else's shows. I have a great set, Earl. You're V cool. Thank you, Dingbat. Come on, DJ. I'm going to take away your free membership. Wayne Fraser gifting another membership. Dr. Chow is the benefit of Wayne Fraser's generosity. So thank you, Wayne, for your generosity, and thank you, Dr. Chow, for your internet provocateur. Waivers in the house. I'm a soldier, Gina. I'm a comedy soldier. I speak for the victims. I'm a voice of the voiceless. But I will probably stream tomorrow around 3:30 because at 5 my time, we've got the King game and the Steelers. So I can't be bullshitting with you guys. I am a very good and cool egg. And I forget the person who did it. I wish I could thank them, but someone tweeted out, "It's time to have Earl Skakel on your podcast." And it was like Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan, Tom and Christina before his special drops. So I appreciate that person. I wish I could remember who did it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow about 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. Earl Skakel, the Earlverse is closing the books.